I'm Kamran. I'm a partner with Inspired Capital. We're a seed and Series A venture fund based in New York. We're generalist investors. We've been around since 2019. We're on our third fund, investing out of a $330 million fund. I spend a lot of my time in commerce and industrial, but really a generalist, investing across a bunch of different categories. So as an investor, the lens that I use most often when evaluating companies is to look for the presence of or potential for a step function improvement over an existing product or in any given market in terms of the status quo. And so the way I think about this is pretty simple. Is a company building something that is so much better than an existing product that it will be a no-brainer for the end customer to adopt? And the premise here is that human inertia is so hard to overcome. And so unless you hit someone over the head with a product that is so much better that they're compelled to make a switch, that they won't. And so I look for companies that can deliver those non-incremental types of changes. And if the answer to that is yes, I'm more excited to dig into the market size, the team, the business model. A way founders can pressure test this, which is how we would think about it, is talking to customers and just having a really strong pulse on what their customers or end users experiences with their product. And if it's pre-product, then with their design customers or potential ICP, but really understanding and being able to relay those stories to the investor, I think is a really important part of the narrative, because then if you are hearing the signals that the way you're thinking about the world or your actual product is impacting behavior, that's really powerful. So this framework of thinking through and looking for step function improvements is why I initially got excited about ShopMy and led their Series A. And so stepping back a little bit, we first met the founders back early in 2022, almost 2 years before we initially invested. And at the time, they were focused on just beauty and skincare influencers, and specifically dermatologists. And so I remember asking my wife, who's a dermatologist, if she had heard of the product, assuming the answer would be no. And I was surprised to hear that several of her friends and colleagues already had ShopMy storefronts. And so that was an early signal for me to be like, something interesting is happening here. Then fast forward a couple of years, and mind you, this is in the time when there was a joke that there was more creator economy businesses than actual creators. And so this idea of we're going to match brands with influencers wasn't a new one. But continuing to follow along the journey for about 2 years, the traction just continued to improve, and finally was compelled to spend some time digging into the business and talking to different brands and creators. And what I heard was incredible. The level of praise and love for the product was like unlike anything I'd ever heard. And it was so clear specifically that the ShopMy team had made so many small but intentional product choices to make sure that they were way better than anything else in the market. And that gets back to this idea of they created a product that was a step function improvement that was validated from talking to customers. And I'll remember that brands, when we were talking to brands, they were referring creators, creators were referring other brands. There was this incredible flywheel that was starting. And our perspective was that we were getting here right at the beginning of what was potentially going to snowball. And that's really what's happened over the last couple of years, which has been awesome to see, which is the growth has been dramatic. We have seen them become from this challenger to the leader in the space and destination where any new brand or creator wants to go work. It's just been a really fun journey to be on. In terms of advice for founders, for me, I love meeting with teams that feel that they have a truly unique or proprietary insight or secret that they've learned from the market, and being able to clearly articulate that and how that can create a massive business is what gets me excited to do more work. And so I always love meeting with founders, and you can reach me at Kamran@inspiredcapital.com.